Cooper Kupp is visiting a specialist to further understand his hamstring issue, according to Ian Rappaport. With two pulled hamstrings in one summer, the hope is to fully comprehend the root of the issue. Coach Sean McVay has described him as day-to-day, and we've got to quickly talk about this because whenever you visit the specialist, it is not a good thing. So people need to brace for the worst because this could be something that lingers into the season deeper than anybody thought. So if you haven't drafted yet, this video is extremely vital. Make sure you watch it before you head to your draft today. Even though you should be avoiding Cooper Kupp anywhere near his ADP anyway, the Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show.
Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Cooper Kupp visiting a specialist, and I'll read the further tweet that Ian Rappaport posted here in regards to this. He said that Cooper Kupp, while there's been no firm word on Kupp's status, exercising caution for week one is the likely outcome, meaning he'll probably not play week one at this point. We're all speculating from a news environment and news world, so nobody knows for certain on any of this, but it's a long season, and putting him on the field early at less than 100% doesn't help anyone, says Ian Rappaport. But again, this coming off the back of this tweet that Rappaport tweeted. So he retweeted his own tweet to update on that, what I just read you. But again, Cooper Kupp is in Minnesota today visiting with a noted body specialist to further understand the hamstring issues that he's going through. Now, a couple things. I mean, there are, and this was another update on it, Cooper Kupp is visiting a specialist today in Minnesota in hopes to fully comprehend the root of the problem after two hamstring pulls. He remains day-to-day, uncertain for week one. The most important thing to note here, and this is through, like I say to you guys a lot, I've done this for 20-plus years, the observation of this versus the observation of that. Trying to put pieces together to understand this versus understanding a situation very much like it and reading between the lines. This to me smells an awful lot like a situation where you see a specialist, you're going because you are literally in a fork in the road decision. You know, whether there's some surgery needed or something, or whether there's something else. Okay, he's seeing a specialist, he's rehabbing it, he's probably out week one, but he wants to make sure it's rehabbed properly. He wants to make sure there's not something else going on that they do need to look at as to why it keeps occurring. But regardless, to go see a specialist means he's not knocking on the door of playing. And so if anybody hasn't drafted yet, you need to make sure you don't take Cooper Kupp in the first two rounds of your fantasy football draft. And before, you didn't have the risk of having to take him because someone was going to grab him at 12. There are people out there that they I don't know, they'd like to ride the value train all the way to down into the ditch. You know, there's no track ahead, but people like to get on the train. I don't know why, but we've been saying avoid him, avoid him, avoid him. He's 30 years old. And I know that some people take that wrong. You know, I wish I was 30 years old. He's 30 years old. And he's probably not going to recover even remotely close to players at 27, 26 years old. I know it seems like, okay, 30 is not that old, Smitty. It is. Your ability to play at Cooper Kupp's level, number one in the NFL, that goes away when you're about 31, 32. And when you're 30 years old and you start suffering injuries like this, and you have an injury history like Cooper Kupp, and you're dealing with a hamstring right now, you're dealing with a very slow recovery from his ankle, and he took a long time to come back from that ankle leg issue. It wasn't like it happened like Tony Pollard's had a tightrope surgery as well. They both had tightrope surgery. Tony Pollard was back really quickly. There was no, okay, how behind are you? Are you out there running yet? Cooper Kupp like literally a little over a month ago, was telling us that he's hoping they ramp him up. He's hoping he gets a chance to go out there and start working full go. He is so far removed, or should be so far removed from that injury. It's questionable to me as to why he wasn't fully ready even a month ago at full go capacity. So for him to have the hamstring injury, which I even said was likely because you have compensation issues whenever you were trying to thrust yourself back into action really quickly in a short window of time. And he rushed back. He was not fully ready. He rushed back. And whenever you re-injure a hamstring, a groin, etc., you are most likely putting yourself not just back to square one. So where he tore his hamstring, he thought it was okay, he came out, then he ran on it, and then he tore it again. He's most likely further back than before. You typically don't barely tear it and get yourself a little tiny setback. You go straight back to square one, if not further back, when you re-injure something you're trying to heal and stay off of. Let me get these super chats here out of the way. We got Thomas dropping a $10. Appreciate you, Smitty. 12 team, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex, 1 QB. Fields, Gino, JJ, Ridley, Lazard, JSN, Tank Dell, Gibbs, Madison. Nice team, bro. Absolute straight team. Here's the trade. Would you trade JJ and Javonte for Bijan and Hall? Pretty close, but yeah, I'd take Bijan and Hall personally, but that's me. I think that's a very arguable thing. Yusuf dropping a $10 hauler, drafted last night. My 8-man league, buddy league thoughts. Fields, Chubb, ETN, Chase, Amon-Ra, Kittle, Walker, Rashad White, Dotson. Love it, bro. I would sell Rashad White if it were me. I would try to get into I'd sell Kittle and Rashad White and go light tight end shopping. And if you're starting Rashad White, if Rashad White's in your lineup, he's your flex, and get yourself a beefed up flex. That's where I would take that. Appreciate you both with the $10 haulers. You both get moonshots for that. Appreciate you. And Gabriel dropping the super chat here. Help me navigate this third pick, going JJ, Chase if they fall. Torn between Bijan and Kelsey. Both are amazing strategies. Honestly, I don't think there's a wrong way to go. This is the 1 year where you can build an amazing team around Kelsey early, but I do love having the Bijan approach. If you don't have a lot of shares of Bijan, go Bijan. If you've got a lot of shares of Bijan, try the Kelsey approach. That would be my advice in guiding you. Tempted to tell my buddy about this to try and buy him low. Cooper Kupp. I mean, there is that conversation to have. At what point does Cooper Kupp become a player you target because someone's freaking out and they're like, okay, I'm going to trade you a 6th-round player for Cooper Kupp? I probably take the chance on that. There is a buying point, an entry point at some point where you want to get Cooper Kupp at his very, 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 very discounted value. How early to take Kelsey in an 8-man, 1 tight end? 1, 2, 3, or 4, bro. You're not crazy to take Kelsey number 1 overall. I'd probably take JJ or Chase or JJ, but you are not crazy. And especially in an 8-man league, if you think about it, bro, overcome. Everyone's going to have a stacked team. Everybody. There's only one way to really set yourself apart, or 2 ways, really. Grab one of the top 5 quarterbacks because 3 teams won't have those, but nobody's going to have Travis Kelsey. So if you want to try and separate yourself from a bunch of amazing teams in an 8-man league where everybody's got the best team in the league, get Travis Kelsey. It's absolutely advantageous in an 8-man league. Maybe more so than any other format, bro. Not trading for Kupp, disaster in the making. Absolutely, Nico, but the point is there is a line in the sand at some point where you trade for a guy that somebody's panicking on, knee-jerk reaction, and you get them for seller-dweller pricing. Now, the question is, at what point do you draw a line? At what point do you say, okay, Dotson, do you keep Dotson? Pickens, do you keep Pickens? Do you trade a player like Rashad White for Cooper Kupp? I would. Even more so, whoever said that, even more so, a player you question, J.K. Dobbins. I don't know what J.K. Dobbins is going to do this year. I'd take the chance on guys like that sending guys that are questionable away, guys I don't really believe in anyway. Rachaad White would be a player. I love Rachaad White's skill set. I love Rachaad White, but I don't love his situation. I don't love that he won't sniff the red zone very often. So I trade away a player like that for Cooper Kupp. But that's it. But that's 6-7 round territory. We're talking about Cooper Kupp going from a borderline second round a couple hours ago, okay, when people thought, okay, maybe he comes back, to now being 6th, 7th round capable in a trade if someone's freaking out. You got to take that chance, even if the chance isn't great. He doesn't play for a month or 7 weeks or something. We still don't fully know what's going to happen with this. We still don't fully know if they're trying to get him back earlier than 1, 2, or 3 weeks. And this is more of a, let's keep it healthy. How do we keep it healthy once we get it healthy? What's going on so I don't suffer a re-injury? This isn't 100%, hey, he's having surgery. But usually when you see a specialist, this is not a good news. It's going in a very, very bad direction for sure. But we still need some confirmation before we get so crazy that we don't accept a trade that is like a 6th round player. You know what I'm saying? You got to take that chance, roll that dice. But that's it. I mean, this has been an avoid of mine for a while because he's 30 years old coming off an injury with an injury history, and he had a hamstring injury. And everybody's just throwing him right into the 1st and 2nd round over and over. Trone says, got offered Chase and Dillon for Chubb and Sanders. Give me Chase and Dillon. I'm not trading Chase under that context. I don't believe Miles Sanders enough to make that move. This is a super chat from Diego. Appreciate you. Traded Cooper Kupp last night. I got Devontae Smith and Kenneth Walker for him. Wow, bro.
Got him.
That's what I'm talking about. Diego, we saved your season, pal. Congratulations. You're going to the moon. Unbelievable, Diego. Unbelievable, my guy. What a move, Diego. What a move. Diego absolutely. Diego crushing it, doing it live. Chase, Tyreek redraft. I'm going Chase. I don't know about you, but I'm going Chase. I'm scared, Scott, I guess. LOL, says Nico. Nico, there's nothing wrong with not trading for him. I'm just saying if you got an opportunity, you don't have to take it. If you got Dotson, you don't want to trade him, of course. I get it. Pickens, Dotson, love him. But Pacheco, actually, I don't even know if I'd trade Pacheco and McKinnon together straight up for Cooper Kupp right now, to be quite frank, bro. So, Nico, you're not alone. I don't want Nico to think that, you've got to go trade. I'm saying if somebody's freaking out right now, it's something to think about. I'm not saying it's something I'd even do. It depends on the context. I'm the biggest avoid Cooper Kupp guy you'll find. So, I'm just saying there are opportunities sometimes when these things happen. You just got to keep your eyes open in case it goes such an extreme degree. You can roll the dice and maybe even flip them. Smitty, currently it's a $20 haul.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 hauler here from my boy. Who is this? Here we go. $20 hauler. Smitty, currently in my standard big money draft. Have Bijan, Josh Allen, CD, Etienne, Olave players still on the board. Waddle, Debo, London, Javonte, Swift, Kittle. It's Waddle. I mean, you got to take Waddle here, but I love Debo. If you wanted to go Debo, for some reason you didn't trust Waddle, but Waddle at this territory is really, really good, bro. It's not. I don't like Waddle in like the 14 overall territory where a lot of people do, but that's a fantastic situation. Anyway, Debo. What are we talking about here? Okay, so bad news, ladies and gentlemen. Bad news. Cooper Kupp visiting a specialist for further understanding of his hamstring issue. Again, just to preface caution here to not overreact on either side. We're avoiding him anyway, okay? He was going hours ago. He was going in the 2nd round, top of round 2, sometimes low round 1, by a bunch of optimistic Oscars, that don't really read between the lines. And we were willing to let that happen, and we didn't really have to contemplate, well, where's the line in the sand for us? Because there's no way our line in the sand was going to be in a territory where we're drafting Cooper Kupp, right? We made that abundantly clear for days and days and days. Now that he's going to see a specialist, everyone else is finally going to catch up and start to react appropriately and be some regular reacting Rodgers out there. And so now we will be put to the test as to where we would draft him, because I think that there are going to be a lot of people that are going to punt Cooper Kupp. The problem is, when I say problem, I mean no problem. Somebody in your league, some ambulance chasing Albert, is going to just snag him in the late second round or top of third. I still don't think anybody's going to have to actually grab him, because someone is going to grab him. Albert will grab him in your draft. Wasn't a bad pick in the second round given his upside. It wasn't a bad pick in the second round. It was, though, Brady, because he re-injured the hamstring. And when you re-injure the hamstring, as I said, when he did it, you are putting yourself probably behind where you were when you initially injured it. You don't just like have a baby setback on a re-injury. You go straight back to square one, but probably even like way past it. It's most likely more injured than it was the first time when you re-injure it. That's the whole thing. That's why he was a bad pick in the second round. That's why for the last handful of days, Brady, I've been saying just avoid him. Why would you take a 30-year-old player that can't get healthy off his ankle injury? He can't recover fast enough, and now he has a compensation injury, which was so easy to see coming. I mean, I'm sitting here beating this gavel over and over and over. Where's my gavel? I've been saying compensation injury. He's 30 years old. Compensation injury. You're going to have compensation injuries when you're not ready and you're thrown to the wolves, Brady. So it was a bad pick. I know you want to defend it because you probably took him, but it's fine. Look, I'm here to help you. We could try and get you out of it. We could try and get you into a player that maybe is buy low territory that is going to be a good move for you. All right, I'll be back later. We have a premiere dropping in just like, I want to say an hour and a half. A premiere on early quarterback. Go check it out. If I miss a super chat on the way out the door, I got to go to a draft call. I will answer in the comments. Please repost the question in the comments. Appreciate you all. See you all a little later. We're drafting tonight on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. So here's that link, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. I'm dropping it now. It's in the description of the video. It's in the description of every video. The link that inserts promo code Smitty for you. We'll be drafting tonight. We'll be doing a little draft marathon, multiple drafts tonight. Not one, multiple drafts on Underdog Fantasy. So click that link. I'm dropping it again. Hit it now. Sign up now so you're not scrambling to get in later. We're doing multiple drafts tonight on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, and I will see you all there. Premiere in about an hour and a half on backup quarterbacks. A premiere in an hour and a half. Don't be late on the channel here. A live premiere on backup quarterbacks. Get out of here. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Also live whenever news breaks, which is this exact video right here. See you later. Deuces. Peace out. Avoid Cooper Kupp.